Hey, good morning, YouTube. So, I just want to say thank you guys for all your support. I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about my mom and, her laugh and just, she's going to be missed, man, for sure. Um, this morning reminds me of back when I was in Susanville, man, you'd come out on the track and the track would be all snowy, ice all over the track, and you're trying to walk to chow and everyone is slipping and eating crap, falling on their ass out there on the yard. Hilarious, man, in a place nothing's funny, you know what I mean? You laugh at violence. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I was just so I get hundreds of comments, and yesterday someone hit me up and they just wrote a book, man. And I read about half of it, but then I had other shit to do. And it's true, some of the things he was saying, he definitely has done some time. What they do is they take a bunch of fucking puppies and they throw them in a fucking cage and turn them into wolves, The violence that goes on inside is just insane, especially in California, and then other prisons like Arizona, they try and fucking fall into line with us. There's other prisons that are every bit as much trying to keep up with us, but for the violence, California's it. Angola, that's a pretty rough prison too, though. I've seen some documentaries on it, but anyway, so my buddy who's been down just about 21 years now, I was talking to him yesterday, and he's like, so the twins are 30, and I was like, what? He had two beautiful daughters, and he has three beautiful daughters, but the twins were, when I got out, I went to his house, and he welcomed me into his house. His wife was probably a little leery, me being around his three little daughters. She quickly got over that and found out that my loyalty lied to them. That's the one thing that you will learn inside is loyalty. You'll definitely learn that. A lot of people don't realize that the things that they don't want to do out here, they're gonna do in there with no questions asked. You know what I mean? All these youngsters that don't want to make their beds at home, mom asks them to do a few fucking things, take out the trash, be respectful around the house, make your bed, I guarantee you're gonna do every one of those things inside, man. You're gonna get up, you're gonna roll your mattress up, depending on where you are, or you're gonna make your mattress up, something like that. I hear down on the little CCFs they give you like a candy bar for making your bed or something. I don't know. I'm half fucking around, but anyway, you're gonna mind somebody when you go inside. Anyway, I was saying, this morning reminds me of like a Susanville morning, So there's two prisons that I really sort of enjoyed being at, and one of them was Tracy. I talk about that prison a lot because a lot of fucking funny shit happened there, man. A lot of crazy shit happened there, and Susanville. Susanville had lots of mornings like this. It was beautiful up there. The Lassen yard, it's a 3 yard there. It was beautiful. Let's just say that. Like I said, you'd come out in the mornings and it'd be like something like this almost every day. And you'd be walking in the shower, your hands would be cold as hell. You'd be grumpy. Fucking, like you got a bunch of dudes trying to fucking brush your teeth down on the like if you're in the gym or something. And I started out in the gym. You look forward to getting your own cell. You look forward to doing all that shit, man. because you don't want to deal with that, you know. And then they crack you out, and you walk the yards, and you go to chow, and then you walk, you know, back in. You as you leave, they give you your lunch for the day. You don't go to breakfast, you ain't eating lunch. It's just how it is. Yeah, Susanville was not a bad prison to be at. It was old school reception. I remember when I rolled up there. I had the jitters, as I guess you would call them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be all hard, fucking, you know, walking the yard, like, what's up, fool? Yeah, as I'm coming up, you know, got my little bedroll and all that shit. Not even bedroll. I'm just going to get, you know, clothing and all that shit. But they do old school reception there, man. Like, fucking everybody comes to the yard when the buses roll up. You know what I mean? You got 300 dudes out there, fucking shirts off, all yoked up, fucking cat calling motherfuckers and doing all that shit. I mean, I get the pretty one, I get that thin blonde boy right there. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit was going down, and looking back on it, it was pretty funny, you know. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had a little bit of fear walking in there, hearing all this shit. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you hear Badger. You're like, fucking, what's up, dog? You know what I mean? You got me? You know, that you got me means you're going to put together a fucking little care package for me, you know what I mean? Then you'll hear Badger, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was, thank God I was down in the county jail long enough to meet some fucking pretty good dudes, make some fucking, bonds, I guess you would call them. And then, so then when any prison that I went to after that, somebody's going to call out my name, you know what I mean? Or fucking, I'll throw out, hey, tell them Badger from San Fernando's here, you know what I mean? And fucking all of a sudden, boom, here comes care packages, here comes this and that. That's how it was. You know, I understand it's no longer like that. People don't look out for each other like that. And $1.75 a soup, I totally understand. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be hard on your people, man. You're sitting there, you know, and not only that, they take out what's it called? Anyway, when you send your people send you $100, right? They take out 55% restitution. So they take out 55% to restitution. You know what I mean? So out of $100, you get $45, man. And that don't go very far at $1.75 a soup. You know what I mean? It's not $1.75 a soup in the county, I mean, in the state prison, but in the county jail, it certainly is. I think I was paying $6 for a case of soups, top ramens. You take your laundry bag down over to the store, and, you know, you get 6 cases of soups. You get, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going $100 draw or something, you're doing pretty good, you know? Yeah. And then you're walking the yard, man, and all of a sudden now you got fucking 400 friends, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, and they ain't shy about what race they are or anything. You're like, hey, Wood, what's up? Fucking, am I good for a soup? You know what I mean? Like, you hear all this shit all the time, and you just want to get back to the house, man. You got this thing over your shoulder, and you're walking across this yard that seems like fucking Miracle Mile. You got to get across it. You got 2 homeboys with you as it is. You know, you got a couple, so hopefully you got one of them carrying your bag. You got a couple top ramens in your pocket so you can check a few to, you know, whoever you see on the yard that, you know, ain't got nothing, you know. Yeah, Store day was a fabulous day inside, you know. But this morning reminds me of that, you know. And like I said, so I lost my grandmother when I was in county jail. My people paid for escorts, sheriff escorts, to take me to the funeral. You know, very embarrassing. I wore chains into the church. I had a body wrap on with one hand loose so that I could use the restroom and whatnot, hug people with one arm. You know, and I did some scandalous shit then, you know, like, it's just what I did at the time. But mind you, I'm starting to get indoctrinated not to fucking feel anything, not to have emotions, you know. And I don't got that going on this time, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking feeling this with my mom and my brother, man. I'm feeling it, and I don't really know what to do as far as feeling it. I don't understand how to work through this right now. It just comes in little waves, you know. So, and then my grandfather, he went about 2 years after my grandmother, you know, and I think I was at Jamestown, I believe, when he went, and you know, they did it scandalous, man. They called me to the chaplain's office, and he right away before he says anything, he starts talking about the 5 stages of grief and shit, you know what I mean? And I'm like, look, bud, cut to the chase. who's, you know what I mean? All I could think it was going to be one of my kids or something, man. Like, because I had just spoke to my grandfather like fucking 2 days before that, right? So I had no clue thinking it was him. Boy, I got chubby. Anyway, I ended up going to the hole for 10 days, man. Like fucking, they say, hey, so you don't fucking hurt yourself, or so you don't try and escape, or you don't try to do anything stupid. And I'm like, are you serious? This is what you're gonna do? You're gonna put me in the hole? You know what I mean? Like, how fucked up is that? You know, first I go to the chaplain, which I would never do. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm getting escorted from there to the fucking to the 4 building, you know what I mean? It was just like, fuck, are you serious? Excuse me. I did 10 days in the hole there, and then, you know, I came out, and you're not allowed to feel anything, you know? You're just not, and you train yourself not to feel anything, man. And I don't have that luxury right now, you know? But fortunately, I do still have a mechanism in me that still cuts shit off. You know what I mean? Like fucking when it gets too bad, like, you know, the whole breakup with what's her name? You know, like it got dark for me for a minute, and then I started using drugs. You know, and fucking I dropped off the YouTube channel and disappeared, and then lo and behold, you know. With narcotics usually comes jails, institutions, and death, you know? So I ended up back in jail again, you know? It was probably one of the best things that could happen for me at the time. You know, it was also a great thing because I found out that broad's true colors, man. You know, like my car got auctioned off fucking 5 days before I got out, man. And I had the money to get it out. And she just wouldn't lift up a fucking phone to try and help me find anything, you know? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like people you think that got your back and love you, you know, they got your back all right, you know? Yeah, it's, I don't know. Anyway, like as I was saying, you know, like I still have some of that inside me that sort of cuts shit off when things get too painful. I just know how to numb up and, you know, not think about it, you know. Although, like last night, and my mom's voice, her laughter was echoing in my head. My mom had a wonderful laugh, you know what I mean? It was a beautiful laugh, and I tried to get that out of her a lot, which caused a lot of problems with us, you know. Now, for those of you that haven't watched the show from the whole time, like my people didn't talk to me forever because of, you know, the shit that I did, you know, and so I went to Tennessee and I spent some time with them, and I'm so grateful for that, you know. I'm so grateful that I've made some solid decisions where they're concerned. You know, I got to go spend some time with them. Well, I got to heal some shit. I got to fix some shit between my brother and I. I got to do see my grandparents. You know, like they were in the ground, but like I got to go sit out there with them and talk to them, and you know, like I said, I was a grandma's boy. You know, it's just how it was. My grandma sort of raised me. She would be so cute coming to trial, man. When fucking she'd have her Queen's way to fashion clothes on, and she'd have bright flowered shirts on, you know what I mean, like showing up. She finally said, the only reason he's taking the deal is so that to save the taxpayers money, because that's what I told her. I'm like, Grandma, I'm gonna take the deal, man. Like, I gotta do something. I want to get out of this county jail. I've been sitting here way too long, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's, you know, that's what's, that goes on all day there, you know what I mean, in the county jail. Now in the state prison, you know, people walking the laps, saying, just angry, fucking full mad all the time, you know? And that anger being there, you know what I mean, like just fills you full of hate, you know? And that's all that place is fucking generates, you know, hate, fear, yeah. Anyway, I got some interviews lined up. I got to hook up with dude. I think you'll really enjoy them. You know, I'm sure you guys get sick of hearing me talk all the time, but you know, I like to tell you some of the little stories that happened there. You know, so I remember one time, my homeboy Paul Ziegler, there was very few of us, very few San Fernando, you know what I mean, which I don't run San Fernando inside, I ran Skinhead, you know what I mean, but I still love my valley, you know, so I would, whenever I get there, I'd be like, hey, check in with the valley car first and then go over to fucking Skinheads and fucking kick it, you know, introduce myself, find out where I fit in, take care of shit like that, you know, and then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I don't run San Fernando, you know, like, but I always love my car, you know what I mean? So I will always, I would always, you know, make sure that I had a bond going on with the San Fernando car, and then I just kicked it with Skinheads, you know what I mean? Like, and the reason I do that is because you can't get too involved with your car, because a couple of times what happened was San Fernando would get into some shit, you know what I mean? And fucking lo and behold, Badger's not gonna fucking just let it be heard that he didn't get involved in that shit, you know what I mean? Like fucking, how do you spell respect in prison? F-E-A-R, you know what I mean? So, of course I'm gonna get involved, you know what I mean? But then guess what? So are all the skinheads. So I'm getting them in a wreck behind something that, you know, fucking somebody forgot to wash their hands or so. I don't know what, you know, there's some of the dumbest shit you ever heard of. Riots, you know, I remember we rioted over some bread, man, one time. Jeez, good God. That was crazy, you know. And you know, believe it or not, back in the day, they used to fucking feed you, man, in prison. You got fed. You know what I mean? You go out there, you get your buff on, you come and do breakfast, and you know, you get a big ass rosca like that with some fucking oatmeal, put some peanut butter on top of that, you know, put your oatmeal on top of your roll with some fucking peanut butter and fucking, yeah, charge of coffee, and then fucking go out and, you know, refuse to work for sure. I ain't fucking working for the man. So go run some laps, you know, do whatever you're gonna do. You find your program, you know, and you try and do that same thing every day. It's like a Groundhog Day. It's just repetitive. I played so much fucking cribbage and spades, and, you know what I mean, pinochle. I never played spades again after I started playing pinochle, you know. I remember getting a cheat sheet first, you know, stand there watching the homeboys, and, you know, stand there watching the homeboys play for a fucking year. You sort of pick up how to play. So, and then, you know, you just jump in one day, and then you get yelled at a few times, and because that's a very serious game inside, man. people play pinochle for bread and meat. If they don't win, they don't eat, and that's for real shit. You know what I mean? They play for big money. It starts adding up. They have poker games. There's somebody that's in charge of gambling. Somebody in charge of everything, drugs, whatever. Yeah, and generally, our car fucking is on top of shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking, we're always holding drugs. We're always banned. Most places that I was at, if you were a skinhead, you weren't allowed to use drugs, but you sure could sell them. And then like if I would hit or something. And I would make sure, bam, give everybody a couple papers so that they could fucking sell them to fill their locker. And if they didn't fill their locker, tough shit. You know what I mean? You're not getting nothing more from me. If I found out that you're fixed on that shit, it just wasn't happening, My boy Eric Ray, yeah, I said your name, my boy. We were at Susanville, yeah, and his celly was getting hit fucking visits every weekend, and I'm like, hey bud, I need to talk to your celly. He's all, about what? I go, what do you think? He goes, come on, Bad, just don't do it, man. I'm like, fuck that, bro. That kid's getting visits every day, every weekend, you know what I mean? Like fucking, it's got to get done, He was mad at me for about a year about that because, I pushed up on that kid and I told him, fucking check it out, bro. Give me an address and I'm going to have somebody mail your old lady some shit and you're going to bring it in, or you're not ever getting a fucking visit on this yard again. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you're going to get rat packs and you'll fucking be in the hole, fucking beat up, fucking all that shit if you don't do what I'm telling you to do. And, that's the way you did things, you know what I mean? You just push up on somebody, you pressure them, and like I said, you spell respect F-E-A-R, I remember fucking, same place, I got a little job out at IDL, inmate day labor, and it went up to like 90 cents an hour pay number, and I wanted that pay number, so, there was a cat that I seen in Bakersfield. He ended up being a lead man over there. He was a free staff. He was lead man over there, and I used to see him in the smoke shop, And so one day I told him, "Hey, bud, come here," because I smell weed on him every day. I mean, I don't even smoke weed, but fucking, I was like, "Hey, bud, fucking, how you doing today?" Like, He's like, "All right, cool." And I'm all, "You don't remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." I go, "Hey, man. You smell weed every fucking day, and you're gonna just let us sit in here and go without?" You're like, I didn't have to take it too far with them. And I go, look around you right now, man. Like, you're surrounded by skinheads. Like, we could move on you in seconds, And so you might want to consider dropping something off in this fucking outhouse tomorrow, And I left it at that. And sure as shit, fucking big ass clob of weed. So I still had to take it from out there and get back to the yard. But yeah, that was a very nice situation. And then I broke off everybody, bam, bam, bam. So everybody was able to sell, a couple caps and fucking fill their lockers. And yeah, it was I was a shaker and a mover in there, man, for sure. Anyway, guys, listen, it's getting a little busy right now. I just wanted to share a few minutes with you guys. Tell you little stories about this and that, whatever. You know how I do it. So, with that said, man, nothing but love and respect. Shout out to the whole car. I can't thank you guys enough. I think I'm going to try getting storage out this week. You guys are hitting me with 10s and 20s, you know what I mean? I think like 4 people hit me with 10s and 20s last night, and that's great, man. I can't thank you enough because that's how I'm going to have to pay my storage right now. I couldn't even imagine losing the shit that my mom gave me that's in storage right now. That would just fucking tear me up, man, to know that I was that weak that I fucking lost all that shit, But anyway, with that said, some people want it to happen, some people need it to happen, but heavy hitters make it happen. Just remember that. So you guys have a fabulous day, and I don't know, man. Just try and make it a positive day for yourself. Just don't let shit get you down. I got a lot of shit on my plate, and I was letting it get me down, but the more I think not to let it get me down, the better my days are. So thanks for your time.